Hey everybody, it's the Modern Native. How's it going? Hanging out in the good signal spot again. The wife is down at camp with the boys. It's a beautiful place out here, but this is the only spot that I get a good signal to be able to do this. So I wanted to go live, hang out with you guys, and let you guys know the Bud Files, how's it going? And let you guys know that unfortunately I might not be able to upload or go live or really much of anything for a while. Um, our phones are about to be off. We've only got, I think, 2 days left. And so far, our raising enough to keep the phones on hasn't been working. So we still trying to raise the funds in the next couple of days to be able to get my phone, keep our phones on because it's about to turn off. Otherwise, I am bulk uploading a bunch of stuff so that way it can drop periodically. Whenever I get signal, Wi-Fi, things like that. Um, it's kind of shitty, but it is what it is. We weren't able to save up a bunch of money and have the plan for this. So we're hoping that we can get some donations tonight and tomorrow, and I'll be able to pay for our phones ahead of time before they go off. And then we'll be able to continue uploading and sharing our adventures and the trail cleanup, which I'm excited for. We're over 110 pieces already. Been cleaning up a lot of junk around. Mostly it's just in that one site we're in. Somebody used it for their own personal playground, and they throw a ton of stuff all over the place, and plus everything around the lake gets washed up into that spot. So, I mean, it is what it is, but we're trying to do our best to clean everything up and get it fixed up and get all the garbage out. We're hoping that some locals decide to volunteer and help us get the garbage to its proper place, not in the woods. But we'll see. How's everybody going? How's everybody doing? Says we got one. I think it's just the Bud Files hanging out, but my thing might not update as fast as people hanging out and being around. I did update my thank you. That's why that's on the screen there. I was able to update that and thank Farmer Jack and Cynthia for being patrons. Just Be Cool Metal Detecting, how's it going? I was letting everybody know that it's possibly my last live, or I won't be able to upload for a while because we're trying to get our phones we're trying to raise the funds to keep our phones on, but hasn't been working out. We had enough the other day to get some first aid stuff for the wife for her infections and some painkillers so she can deal with the infection that she's got going on. And we were able to get some food, but it wasn't enough to be able to save anything towards our phone bills. So we're still trying to raise the funds for that. It's after tax, it's like 101, but it's just too much for what we just don't have enough right now. So I wanted to hang out with you guys and go live. I'm going to go live as long as I can. I was able to get a good charge off the solar charger today. I'm on 62% right now, so that's not too bad. And I'm in my good signal spot. I have my headlamp for when it gets too dark for me to go back. I can actually walk and not break something. And I'm going to try not to move it around too much, but my selfie stick is a little wobbly now. It wobbles a little bit. So, but I have the selfie stick today, so that way I don't have to have my arm all cranked out and hurting because I've got a pulled muscle underneath my arm from carrying stuff up the hill and also crashing on a log. Went to go hop over it. I'd done it like 8 times and my hand slipped and I just cracked right across my back on the log. So it was an unfortunate moment in time, but the sunlight through the trees is beautiful though. I love sharing this stuff with you guys. I love being able to share our adventures and share the trail cleanup that we've been working on. I'd said it a minute ago, we got over 110 pieces already, all stacked up, ready to haul out of here. And this is extra garbage. Like, we're not counting any of our stuff because you shouldn't. Carry it in, carry it out. So we're counting all the extra pieces of garbage that we find, and we're at 110. Now we're actively searching for it. We're actively walking the banks and looking for it and bringing bags with us to be able to fill it up. How's it going, Mary? And I wanted to hang out with you guys, do a live. Like I said, I might not be able to do these after a couple of days. We haven't been able to keep our phones on, so our service will be running out in a couple of days. We're still doing our fundraisers to try to keep up on supplies and to keep our phones on. But I mean, if nothing happens, nothing happens, and it's when I get Wi-Fi. I don't know where any spots are, but you know, there's fast food joints and stuff like that, but I don't go into those unless I have the money to pay for it. So it's like I'm not going to be one of those just sitting in the fast food joint with a cup of water and using their Wi-Fi. So I like to be able to be a patron at the shop wherever I'm at to be able to use their power. So when I went down to the store, I bought a coffee. Even though he did give me a discount, I still bought a coffee to be able to use his power, even though he was letting me beforehand. So that's how I am. I don't like. So if someone helps me out, like the local, her name was Amy. She was awesome. She gave me a ride while I was hitchhiking. Still think it's funny that the first person that picked me up and the only people that ever pick me up is always a woman. You'd think with the whole worried about people being a serial killer and shit, women wouldn't be the ones picking up the men. It'd be dudes picking up dudes, but you know, guys always just floor it past me like I'm an inconvenience. I mean, I've met some good friends just walking, hitchhiking, walking the trails, saying hi to other campers. People act like strangers are such a bad thing now. Like that was only when we were kids. As an adult, strangers are okay. Unless people are strange, and then they're not. There's a difference between someone who is strange and a stranger. But how's everybody doing? Says we got two hanging out. I think I still have 61% of my battery. Trying to keep an eye on that so that way I'm able to, you know, not kill my phone. And I'm hoping some people come and hang out, want to see what's going on. I do love this trail. It's been a lot of fun. I'm enjoying cleaning it up. I've switched my focus from being upset when I find garbage to being like, ooh, another piece. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. So I'm just happy to be able to make a difference and clean up the trails. I'm hoping we can oh, hello, Just Be. I thought you mixed up in the middle of your sentence there, Mary. Didn't realize you were saying their name. But yeah, it's a lot of fun out here. I definitely enjoy it. I have to take days. Duct tape in your headlight. Yeah, I've got to melt some pine pitch into my headlamp because it keeps falling. When I step down the hill, my headlamp will be here, and so it gets hard for me to navigate at night when I'm going down the hill, and every step so it gets annoying. So I'm going to be melting some pine pitch into that and cooking it up so that way it's a little stiffer on the hinge. But I appreciate you hanging out. It's a little early for one of my lives. Most people don't hang out until like 6, 7 o'clock. So I'm going to try to stay on as long as possible, hang out with everybody, say hi to everybody, because I really don't know when I'm going to have a chance to again. This is going to be a first, and I'm a little worried about it. The fanatic card and coin, the fanatic card and coin guru gave my comment a heart. They shouted me out in a video. Oh, the headlight on your car. What happened? Gotta say, it's definitely been stressful, quitting smoking and everything else. But luckily, we got some roaches from a local. She was awesome, like I said. And we were able to toke up a little bit. I need a cigarette. But I'm definitely trying to quit. Trying to hold true to this, not to mention the fact that I don't have anything or any money to go and get anything. So we have priorities. Gotta get our phones on, keep our phones on, and food and supplies. I am almost, oof, ran into a sign. You know they don't move out of the way, right? I like messing with people. There was this one time in my old town, it was middle of winter, and I watched someone, they were coming down the hill and then they hit the brakes, but they kept moving, sliding, hit the walk sign. The walk sign fell onto their hood, and they did one of these. See, wobbly fucking thing. They looked around, backed up into the parking lot, did another look around, and pulled away. I was like, yeah, we saw that. It happened. My buddy and I were out walking in the middle of the night. That's funny. Man, we had a ton of people pop in as soon as I went live yesterday or the other day, whatever it was. I have a ton of videos unlisted on my Patreon because I'm kind of prepping for this idea that if we aren't able to keep our phones on, I still want to be able to put up content. So I'm uploading as many videos as I can right now and keeping them unlisted. And then if I don't have service, I will go through and mark them public periodically so that way I can keep having content coming out on my channel, even if I'm not able to actually upload the new stuff. I can still have stuff going up that is useful for you guys, stuff that I want to share, my tips and tricks. So even if I don't have my phone, my service is out, and our phones are turned off, I can still have content coming out. It's ouch. Oh man, carrying my pack is gonna hurt. I have a torn muscle coming underneath my pectoral muscle and wrapping around my wing. I have a new muscle group that formed out of nowhere when I lifted some heavy stuff and was carrying up the hill, and it's torn pretty bad now. So every time my arm comes down, every time I put a pack on, when the strap comes down and round, oh man, it just hurts. So moving is gonna hurt in the next couple of days, but got to cover some distance, get some mileage. I mean, I love this mission. We're gonna be hiking from New York to Georgia. We're gonna clean up the trails as we go, and we're heading to the world's largest pizza party that Iraq is throwing. I really want to be there for that because, like I said, you know, when I was a kid, I tried, and still, since I was a kid, I've tried to throw a party every year, tried to get people to come and hang out for my birthday party. No one ever shows up. And that's why he's doing this, because when he was 5, 6, he threw a pizza party and no one showed up, which I get it. I definitely get it. I was there every year. No one ever showed up to my party. So, I mean, our town and stuff like that, no one wanted to hang out with the poor kids. Because if you were hanging out with the poor kids, oh, you must have been poor. So then nobody wanted to hang out with you. So it was it was shitty growing up like that, and it's I don't know how much money I make. I'm always be someone without something, and I have even just a little bit. I will go without things like it's how we handle our dogs. We will go without food before they do. I'll be out fucking. We'll be out of everything, and I'll get $5. I'll go down and get dog food instead of getting our food, or I'll be out there catching fish and killing some squirrels with a slingshot just to be able to feed them when we don't have nothing. I'm always going to make sure that someone else is taken care of before I am. And sorry about the movement. I'm holding a selfie stick, and it's not that great. We keep popping up to 3, and then it goes away. But if people want to be able to get access to the unlisted videos that I haven't put out yet, they will be on my Patreon. So if you join up on my Patreon, no matter how long they're unlisted, you'll be able to see them because I put all of my unlisted links on there. So you guys will always have that pre-release ready and up there, and you'll be able to come and watch whatever I put up, whether it may never be unlisted, or it may be unlisted the next day and put to public, but you'll get to watch it as soon as it's uploaded. Because that's my first move. I upload it, and then I paste it to Patreon. It's like, here's my next one. Here's an unlisted for you. Fortunately, though, I don't even know how much time I have left on my StreamYard. Forgot to check. I think it might have reset already, but I'm not sure. Which is unfortunate because if I run out of time and I still have time to go tomorrow, but we don't get any donations, this is almost going to feel like a waste, other than the fact that I'm updating everybody on what's going on and talking to everybody, and I enjoy hanging out with everybody. But I mean, our goal is to be able to raise some funds so that way we can keep our phones on, so that way we can upload and share and keep the momentum going. I don't want to have another dead space, and I don't know how we will be able to get money if our phones are off, because that's the only way we make money or be able to access our money is having service on our phones. So it's catch 22. Without our phones, everything is just hamstrung. I can find places to get Wi-Fi, but it's not enough to upload most of the time, and it's not going to be enough times and enough places in between to be able to upload consistently. And you guys know I like to be able to put out a video every day. Like, my last video was over 22 hours ago. I've got 5 already uploaded. They're just unlisted right now because I was going live and I was going to do this, and then I was going to unlist one of them, and I have another one to upload after. So there'll still be 5 unlisted, and those will be available to my patrons immediately, but otherwise they will be released when they're released. I do love these wood stuff. I wonder how you'll handle being set down. Here's to hoping the signal still is good. Looks fine. Looks like the signal still works. This way I can just sit and hang out with you guys. So it says we got 4 hanging out. Say a hiya. And then we got Just Be Cool hanging out. I think Mary Monarch is still hanging out. Who else is here? We're saying a hi from the trail. Had to come back down to the good signal spot. We've been making some good progress on cleaning up the trails as we go. Over 110 pieces already. We're going to keep track and make everything count. No point in doing this whole trip and not have anything count. Because people ask me, they're like, well, what's your cause? Like, are you doing this to try to bring awareness to something? I'm like, well, everything I do, I'm always trying to bring awareness to nature and the environment. I'm always trying to help people be safer, learn more, have a deeper appreciation for nature. But I mean, yes, squirrel came up and yelled at me. But when it comes to like, what's my cause? What's my purpose? Well, I want to clean up these trails. Yeah, see, that's going to be some of the only times I'll be able to upload if we're not able to raise some funds to keep the phones on. I'll have to like find launcher mats and stuff like that to do it. But that's extra hikes out. Instead of just finding a good signal spot, I've got to find some place with Wi-Fi. And sometimes I'm 10, 15, 20 miles away from anything. So then that's, 10, 15, 20 miles there and back. So I'm spending the whole day just to be able to upload a couple of things. And then that's going to slow down our progress from New York to Georgia. Hey, Anubis, appreciate that. We're struggling. We're trying to raise some money to keep our phones on. About to be out in 2 days. That's why it says might be the last. Because if I'm not able to raise the funds to get our phones on, I have no idea when we'll be back on here. Which also means I don't know when I'll be able to check in with my safety person or anything. I've got two people right now that I check in daily or every other day to let them know where we're at, how everything's going, and um, without my phone on, I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to. So I'll have to let them know not to call the authorities because they don't hear from me. They just have to hope for the best. But I wanted to hang out with you guys. Actually, happy the signal is working enough that I can keep it on. Hi. If you run right up to me on a live stream, I will literally shit myself. Just be cool. I am so far in the woods, there's no such thing as Wi-Fi signal. That's what I mean. Like, I'm 5, 10, 15 miles away from anything, and sometimes I'm a couple of miles from a house. So it's going to be quite a while until I'm actually passing like behind people's property on the trail to be able to catch a signal that somebody happens to leave unsecured. But that's so few and far between nowadays. Trying to find an unlocked Wi-Fi, I'd be better off with the citywide. There's a couple of companies out here that do citywide, and that's in the towns and the cities. They have limited Wi-Fi, just kind of openly available, bouncing off of the power towers and stuff. So I'll get lucky in those spots, but even then, they're working at like kilobyte speeds or bytes. So I won't be able to actually upload anything on those. I'll just be able to check and change the status on something and set it to public instead of unlisted so I can update my channel. That's how things are going to work out. That's why I'm bulk uploading right now. It's easier said than done when most of the trails are 10, 15 miles from anything. And as you go along, like, we've got over 100 pounds of gear that we have to haul between the wife, the dogs, and me. And I'm hauling most of it just to make it easier on the wife so she can cover more mileage. Backwoods Boy Small Engine, how's it going? We're running some fundraising to try to raise some funds to keep our phones on because they're going to go off in 2 days, and I do everything with my phone. It's how I upload, it's how I go live, it's how I communicate and do my safety checks, things like that. And we're doing just a hangout on the trail. I'm sitting on the Magic Signal Rock. And I'm covering mileage as fast as I can. But See, same thing. Being in the country and you got to use a hotspot. We don't use desktop. Everything is on our phones. She had a laptop, but don't use it no more. So we didn't bring it with us because obviously that's just a whole lot of power that we don't need to try to keep that thing alive. Eventually, once we have enough patrons and once we have enough funding and everything else, I want to have a tablet. A tablet would be really good for me to do extra editing and stuff like that, and being able to share more, do B-roll and different things like that. Oof. Have to think about what to make for dinner too. But that's why I've been uploading what I can now, getting a ton of it out there, putting the links on my Patreon so that way my patrons can get that right off the bat, but then I can still keep my YouTube channel active by periodically changing them to public so that way they'll be released on my channel and it'll seem like I'm actually still able to upload and stuff like that. So at least there'll still be content coming out because I'm still going through my pattern. Yes, Silver Serpent. We were able to get mouthwash, Orajel, and some naproxen for her. It took well over half of the donations that we got, but it was enough that she's able to get some relief, and she actually hasn't been crying from the pain in the last 2 days, like since I was able to go out and get it. So I definitely appreciate everybody and everybody hoping for the best for her. And my infection cleared up pretty fast. I just had an abscess and I just popped it, did some mouthwash, and it was done. I'm used to it. I get so many infections in my mouth. What's going on, Heath? Trying to run a fundraiser right now because our phones are going to be off in 2 days and we won't be able to stay in contact with anybody or upload or anything if we can't raise the funds to get that. So we're trying to raise it's 101 in total, like with tax and everything, because we use the Straight Talk $90 two-line phones, so or two-line card. So that way, with the tax and the E911 thing and everything else, it's 101 after the fact. So we're trying to run some fundraising for that, doing a check-in from the trail, hanging out with everybody. But she wanted to stay down near the boys. We didn't want to leave them alone for too long, so she wasn't going to hang out with me because I had uploads to do. She had came up before me to upload. So she's going to hang out with the boys, make sure the bear cub stays away. He's an adolescent, but we're calling him a bear cub. He's still small. He's not much bigger than Monster. So Monster just wants to play with him or eat him. I can't tell. Man, we popped up to 6 for a minute. I appreciate everybody who gives me a thumbs up and shares this out. I have no idea what any of the numbers are sitting at because I don't have anyone watching it for me. Yes, the $35 straight talk cards would work, but it's not enough data for me to upload. That's why we do the $90 because it's like getting 2 of the $60 ones for the $45 price. That's the best way to do it, and it's cheapest for the 2 phones. Because with the 35, it still comes up to 40 plus, so we'd still be paying like 90 something dollars getting them separately. So that makes it so that way we're able to get both of our phones on, have the most amount of data, and have a hotspot in case one of us don't have signal. Because her receiver is shitty compared to mine. I have a really strong signal right here, but hers fades in and out. So if we hit one of these spots where they don't have service, I turn on my hotspot so she can actually get it if I'm having a good signal. So it's the only reason we do that one. It's the 35 could work. I appreciate it. And if you've got a Facebook or something, like, or text people the link, like I've had people do that where a ton of people pop in from Motorola, and that's from people sending it through text and sharing it. So But yeah, Straight Talk seems to be the best as far as getting signal, but her iPhone just sucks with her receiver. Mine's a Moto G 5G, so it's got a really good signal receiver on it, and I've got over 5,000 mAh on my battery. So that's why it takes longer for me to charge, but it lives longer. So I'm just happy we were able to upgrade my phone before she lost her job and everything. It was just terrible timing. It was right after we'd gotten her last check and spent it all, and well, and she lost her job. So this all snowballed into everything. But you know, if I'm getting bruised lemons, I'm gonna make lemonade, or at least lemon shine, whatever I can do out of it. Well, Straight Talk bounces off of most of the towers, so at least it's a good thing. They usually, if anybody's getting signal, Straight Talk is getting signal. But that's why it says on there it might be our last, because our phone's going to be off in a couple of days. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to upload or go live or anything, or when I'm going to be able to come back or get a hold of anybody. So it's been kind of, the ball's been up in the air, just trying to figure out what we're doing as we're doing it. I actually still have to go down the hill to pick up the last few pieces of gear. Wilson is still hanging out on the trail. You guys remember Wilson from last year? He's in some of my videos. He's the camp mascot before we got the boys. He's still with us. He's just a little bit behind. He don't roll uphill. But I rescued him out of the lake last year. And no, I haven't smelled nothing yet. Pretty sure we missed most of people's harvest up here. Did end up getting picked up while I was hitchhiking. They gave me a ride down to town, and they gave me some roaches. And then they gave me a ride back. So we were able to smoke a little bit, but it's gone. We're just waiting for my PayPal card to come in through the mail, so that way we can get the last bit of that. We're still trying to sell her dress and her cabinet, but nothing yet. That was going to pay for our phones, because her dress is almost $1,000, like when we got it, and she only wore it once. So we were trying to get 600, 400. Like, I don't care if it's more than $100 and it's not going to cost us that to ship it. It'll pay for our phones. If it pays for our phones, I'll fucking take it at this point. It's just so frustrating because we need the funds from it, but nobody actually wants to follow through. Oh, I want it, but let me think about it. Or you've got to download this to do it. No, I'm selling it. You have to download Cash App to get it to me. Simple. I'm not downloading another app or anything else because I can't. People are all about this Zelle thing, but it's irritating. And I'm waiting for some hiking gear to come through. I had a company approach me, gave me a code, and I was able to get stuff by only paying like $7 for the shipping. But I'm starting to feel like it's a scam, so I might have to try to go in there and fight with it and get the refund from that. It's not enough for a phone, but I mean, it's something for some gear or some food or something. So, still trying to sell the 4 walking sticks that we got. I'm waiting to hear back whether LT wants them, but yeah, we're just trying to do what we can. So I wanted to be able to do this live and hang out with you guys and let you guys know what was going on, and that you might not see me for a while, and I don't want anybody to freak out. I'm on 51%. We only popped up to 6. Says we only have 2 now. And by the looks of it, mostly was just people popping in to say hi and then leave. Besides just be cool and Silver Surfing, of course. You guys are hanging out with me by the looks of it. 35 minutes in. Say a hiya. Let me know you're here. Could actually see that in the picture. And like I said earlier, I'm dropping stuff on my Patreon. Uh, I'm uploading videos, and see, I don't care. Just be cool. You know how people do that? They pop in, just say hi, and then leave. I don't really care. I just, when I know I'm dealing with someone like that or something, I try to get them to just hang out for 5 minutes. Our service goes out in 2 days. Pretty sure it was like the 15th or the 16th. So it might be tomorrow. It might be the next day. But yeah, it's either the 15th or 16th. That's why it's like we're trying to we're trying to do the fundraising and raise some funds. I've put up a couple of posts. Well, it's a view, but if it's a short view, like if they're only here, drop that comment and then they leave, it's bad on the analytics. It's not a great thing on the analytics because they're like, oh, you only held somebody for a minute and then they left. Especially if they close out YouTube and they're just done with it. That looks really bad. If they go to something else, it's still not great for me, but at least they stayed in YouTube, so they're like, okay, it did make them go over here. So then they'll just stop recommending me and recommend the thing that people are going to, and then I lose views. But that's why I ask everybody to hang out for at least 5 minutes. Like if you don't have much time, you're surfing, going around checking in with everybody, just give me 5 minutes. It looks good on the analytics. It's good for my watch time and my retention. 5 minutes out of an hour, even though it's not much, it's still something. And it looks better than seconds. And if you're here than less than a minute, it just terribly shreds my retention and the push out. It won't be put on suggested videos. You won't get browse views, things like that. But yeah, Silver Serpent. Yeah, that's why I'm explaining it. I've done a lot of research. That's what, Silver Serpent, I've been really trying to think about that. Like, I'm open to challenges. If people want to give me a challenge to do that I can do in this limited 3-foot circle of space for a signal that I can, angle down the trail or some shit, I don't care at this point. I'll do stupid shit if people want to fucking see that right now. I don't care. I just can't think of anything stupid. Like, at least not anything that's not gonna harm the environment. I can do a nature slip and slide. There's enough leaves. I'll take challenges. Challenge me. Which tree? That short, stubby tree? I'm just gonna say that's a stump. That tree is huge. Which one? So I can climb a tree. I'm in my jammy pants, but I'll climb a tree. Don't know how to climb upside down. The one behind me. They were all behind me. Just be cool? What do you mean, Silver Serpent? I don't get it. I thought I was being cool. Because I'm in my slippers. Actually, it's the wife's slippers, technically. And my jammy pants. Like, they're just sweatpants. I even have fuzzy socks on. Ugh. That's some monkey shit. Like, make a huge bowl. Ugh. Ugh. I don't even know how to climb upside down. Like, that's the first one you come out with. Oh, climb upside down. Well, this guy's so hot. I've got. And I don't know what you mean by make a huge bowl. But let me see if I can spot a tree that I'm not going to fall and crack my head on a rock. Call it the wildlife stripper steps, climbing up with my legs. Silver Serpent, you're an asshole, you know that. Well, he said climb a tree upside down. How? My feet don't grip. But I'll try. Look at that angle. Well, that's just on the other side of the tree. But we'll see. Gotta be creative. Well, I can get foot off the ground. I could climb a foot. That's about as best as you're gonna get with that. I ain't got boots on. We had no work around the area that we were able to live in. Yeah, 100 million views. Hey, I did it. One big piece of wood with a giant fucking bowl. Yeah. Sean, Cody, how's it going? Hey, I was surprised I actually got my legs to hold it tight enough that I could get one more shimmy up. Although I was knocking moss in my mouth. And down East Tackle. I'm in New York. Where I was, where we were living, it was too far to get to work. And the wife had a job, but things happened and she lost it. It's life. One of those things happen. So, I mean, hey, you guys gave me a challenge and I went up a few. Yeah, but making a huge bowl is also very slow, and I don't have any wood to work with that I'm allowed to. And this is my only carving tool I have with me. It's just my neck knife. But yeah, down east, Sean and whoever is hanging out. Yes, or a splinter in your balls, more likely. But Sean, everybody, well, these guys are giving me challenges to try to gather some views. But fucking, I'm trying to run some fundraisers to raise up some money to pay for our phones because they're up in 2 days. So I was taking suggestions for dumbass shit to do in the woods to get some views. Just kind of messing around. Because this might be one of our last. Oh, you can always back it up and watch it. Watch it in 2 times. But because we're on state land, we're walking from New York to Georgia. We're making a stop in Ohio to see some friends. Wife's going to get some work down there. Hopefully we'll get enough to get a vehicle because I'm going to continue to Georgia for the world's largest pizza party. Eric is throwing it. Oh. Yeah. And then after we get down there, she's back at camp with the boys. After the bear cub came around, the minute we're out of camp, he likes to try to come around and see what's going on. So she makes sure to stay down there with the boys. Yeah, New York to Georgia, and then after we're down there, I'm going to turn around in February and go up the Appalachian Trail from Georgia to Maine, and then turn around and go back to Vermont and go from Vermont to North Dakota. 7,000 miles after this hike. So this is just the warm up. But we're going to get a vehicle going before then so the wife can leapfrog me with materials and equipment. So that way I don't have to leave the trail. Silver Serpent, if you want me to carve you a huge bowl, I'll carve you a huge bowl. The Jeep got hit by a fucking ice wave. It was like a landslide, but it was made out of ice, water, rocks, trees, and everything else. It picked the Jeep up, turned it 90 degrees, and pushed it 8 up a hill. And I had to sell it because we didn't have the money to fix it up. Unfortunately, I only got $300 for it, $400. I'm waiting for the title to come in. It's being sent to my aunt, and she's going to let me know when it comes in and give it to the guy who bought it, and then I'm going to get the last $100 for a grand total of $500 for the Jeep. So, yeah, so that's why we're walking. It came down to the point where we could either struggle with what we were doing, trying to find. Our service ends in 2 days. So it's either tomorrow or the 16th. And I'm trying to raise some funds to get that going. It's the $90 Straight Talk the 2-phone line card. So that way the wife and I can both have our phones on. I explained that earlier, that we get that one because it has the data we need, because we both are content creators. She has to upload stuff every day. I've got stuff to upload every day, and we can't live off of Wi-Fi because there's no Wi-Fi in the woods. So we've been putting up our donations. I put it up on Facebook and on here. Yeah. After that, we were full-time camping on her aunt's property for 6 months, and I still have 4 of those walking sticks to sell. Survival LT said that he was thinking about it, but he doesn't know if he has the money. But I've still got 4. No, nice. Just be cool. Have fun with that. I wish I had a metal detector. Out here, I'd be finding A, so much garbage, and B, a lot of treasures. Because there's, right here, about 20 feet that way, there is this 2, 3, 400-year-old freaking base or basement to a house or a cabin that it's got to have treasures in there, like 10 inches under all the soil and shit. But I don't want to sit in there and just digging stuff up. I'd want to know, like, definitely there's something there to pop a plug and pull it out. Yeah, you missed quite a bit there down east. We were full-time camping for 6 months. We are up near Caroga Lake in New York. I don't give the exact location where we're at, which trail we're on, which spot we're next to, because we have issues with some of her family. Not the family we were staying with, but her previous central family. Yeah, still in New York. And yeah, see, that's the other thing. We got to watch the laws around here. So that's why I can't do certain things. So yeah, still in New York. We're working our way across to go west to the North Country Trail, or the North Country National Scenic Trail, and then working our way south to Ohio. Yeah, it's all I'm on is state land. It's all state land. Oh, 44%. I got to keep an eye on my battery. But we're almost an hour in. Yeah, I appreciate everybody who gives me a thumbs up. I appreciate all my subscribers, all my patrons. I appreciate everybody. You guys are awesome. It's actually going to be very sad if my phone runs out and I'm not able to upload or go live or nothing, because I love doing this. I love answering comments. I love seeing all this, seeing the interaction. And Silver Serpent, you comment on almost everything. You know that I respond to every single comment, and I go back through and I look at replies to replies, and I hold those conversations, and I make sure I try to respond to anything that is written anywhere on my channel. It's still so funny that the attendance jumped up because I decided to try to climb a tree upside down. But it says we got 5 hanging out. Say hiya if you haven't already been talking. Lets me know who's here, who's hanging out. Yeah, it's the cellar holes are behind us. It's there's one over here, 2 over here. It may end up coming to that down east. That bear cub really likes popping around here, and he followed me halfway up the hill the other night. So it very possibly he could hang out and start some shit, and then this is all I've got. So it's going to be one hell of a wrestle. It'd be some shit though. The bear just walks by in the background. Fucking Sasquatch just walks up and goes, "I'm walking, motherfucker! I caught you on live." Oh, I definitely would. I already told the wife that if anything happens, I'm tossing her my phone and I'm saying record this. Whether it's the 4-wheelers coming down and deciding to threaten us again, and then we decide that, it's time to protect ourselves and fuck someone up, and they decide to come into the camp and try to fuck me up, I'll fuck them up. And I know there was a lot of fucking them up in that sentence, but I told the wife, I don't care. Unless you have to get involved, you better make sure that that phone keeps me in frame. Even if you set it down and you have to get involved, just make sure it's catching it. I want everybody to see the shit that happens. So whether it's a bear or assholes on 4-wheelers, you guys will see it. Or Sasquatch. Hey, it's getting to the point now where I might run into them. Yep, I was sort of iffy on whether Sasquatch would be a whole around the area that we were in down in Sprakers, but up here, there's a good chance that he'll be around. And the areas I'm going around, it's fucking torn muscle in my side. That's why I don't even leave camp unless I got a blade on me. Always be safe. I'd rather have to try to figure out how to get shelter than figure out how to cut something. Now I don't go anywhere without a headlamp, the walkie if we're separated, or my knife. Any of my knives. So it says we got 6 hanging out. Oh, we already started. That we're already on part of the trail that we're getting there. We have been working our way up the trail. We're a few miles in. Thanks, Silver Serpent. We're a couple miles up. We're hanging out right now, still close by, so that way I can go down to where we were dropped off at and actually be able to go back and handle the stuff. It could take, from here to Ohio, it could take 25, 30 days. If not, it could take longer, depending on how fast I'm able to build the wife up to covering mileage. In 2 weeks, we've gone 2 miles, but I've hiked 40. That gives you any idea. um, between trips into town, scouting missions ahead, coming back to be able to get signal, going down to be able to recharge at a local's house, things like that. I've covered 40 plus miles already, but we have only made it forwards 2 miles ish. So I'm hoping to get the wife to the point where she can hike 12, 15 miles a day. Then it'll take about 2, 3 weeks. Yes, I know. Trust me, I know. I already have a feeling we'll probably be hit with frost before we get out of New York. But I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of the cold. You can only move as fast as your slowest piece. put it that way. So between our gear, our dogs, and the wife, I can only move as fast as they can, collectively. We're figuring out a new system, though, so we'll be able to cover more mileage faster. Yeah. We do not have a tent. The tent actually snapped 2 poles. So we ended up scrapping that before we even left. So we have tarps, we have hammocks, underquilts, blankets, cooking gear, our portable toilet, the camp mascot Wilson, our boys, their lines, their treats, their food, cans of dog food to space things out. And our electronics bag. Awesome. I'm happy to hear about heat waves now. But yeah, the leaves will fall and our solar will get more sun. So that'll help that part, especially when we have snow on the ground. We'll get a lot of the reflecting light and everything else. So that'll help with the solar charger for sure. Says we got 7 hanging out. Say hiya. We're running our fundraisers to try to keep our phones on. They go off in 2 days or less. And we're trying to raise up some funds. Anything helps. You talking about Stella from the other night? I'm not sure if that's legit or not, or just someone dicking me around. But I'm hoping. She says she wants to buy the dress and everything else, but she needs to wait for her grandson to do anything. So she needs to wait until Tuesday for him to come up and do the Cash App. Unfortunately, my phone will be off by then. So, I mean, if that turns out to be legit, and eventually I'll be able to go down and go to the store and check my Wi-Fi and see if we have anything on Cash App, then, I'll be able to get the phones turned on and go out and send that. But otherwise, it doesn't do a whole lot of good for nothing. But that's why I'm trying to do a little fundraising, hanging out with you guys, do a little fundraisers. I'll take challenges. And I mean, at this point, I'll do some challenges for some fucking donations if that's what people want to do. Fuck it. People have those things going on all the time. Should have sprayed myself with the spray I got for the wife. Bugs are getting me a little bit. I'm at 40%. Yes. Oh, shit. It depends on what you're trying to send, and how fast. Because if it's going to be up here to our previous address, I don't know if or when we'll be able to get that. If it's to where we're going in Ohio, I don't know how long it's going to take to get there. So it depends on what you're talking about there, down east. No, we don't need a tent. I'm sorry, like I don't want to say it like that. But that's weight that we can't afford to carry. We're cutting down to the bare minimum of what we need. It's why we're actually sticking with tarps. What we need is food and supplies to make it down, and our phones. That's literally the only thing we need is food to make it. And I don't want to say it like that, like, no, we don't need a tent, but thank you, I definitely appreciate that. But it's we really need to cut down on our weight. Like, I'm throwing out clothing, shirts, socks, um, anything, if it doesn't fit, if it doesn't have a use, if it's not absolutely needed. I keep telling my wife to look at something and be like, will you die without this? No? Get rid of it. So that's the way we're playing it. But like, a tent is nice, it's comfortable. But I've got 4 tarps that I can make into a tent. I definitely do appreciate it down east. I don't want you to think that but that's why I asked what it was, because I'm not going to wait a week or two up here, cutting more time, having to try to figure out how the hell I'm going to pay to be able to get to where it is, to get back with it, and then carry that extra weight when I might not ever actually even set it up. No, I definitely appreciate it. Like, and if it was something other than a tent that was useful, that isn't going to add more weight, and I know a tent is useful. Like, it makes me feel like such an asshole for saying it this way, but I'm trying to explain our mindset. Every ounce, every pound counts. We're already carrying 3 skillets, a double pot, 2 kettles, our dog's running line, our dog's chew toys, our dog's snacks, our dog's dog food, our baking supplies and canned foods, and we're eating through cans first, and we're saving everything that's powdered and dry so that way we can actually save that for when we need it. But let's see if I can respond to this. Sorry about my face. I'm sure it looks weird. That's terrible. That's just terrible. Oh, nice. Chicago? I went through there. I stayed at a hostel in, it was like $60 a night. It was like 4 blocks from the Greyhound station, but you had to go around the streets because there was one that was a one way in the middle of it, so you had to wrap all the way around it. It took us like $20 to get there, but it was freezing, so I wasn't walking. Sorry, I had to answer a message on my messenger. My ex got murdered by her current boyfriend. He killed her at home. That's so fucked up. If you're not happy, just don't stay in a relationship. There's no point in doing that shit. Yeah, Chicago definitely wasn't fun, and I was only there for 24 hours. That was just crappy. I hated it. It's too loud, too much metal. Wasn't enough nature. But I'm not a city person. Y'all know that. Hoping more people would pop in. I had 14 last time I did a live from the trail. Well, you guys can enjoy the view for a moment. I have to go water nature. Oh, I appreciate that, Silver Serpent. This boot rot and trench foot is definitely killing me. That's awesome, Sean. So I definitely do appreciate everybody who hangs out with us. I definitely appreciate it. Like, interaction is what I look for. It's what I enjoy. It's yes, right now we're in need. We could use some donations. We could use some help. But it's the only options I have is donating through Cash App or PayPal to help us keep our phones on, so that way I can continue sharing our adventures and our trail cleanup and my inspirational videos and things like that. Everything that I share on here. I love sharing this with you guys and being able to put it out there. I love how much people enjoy it and appreciate it. It's why I do this. I like offering something of value to you guys, so that way you can either enjoy some nature, learn how to do YouTube a little better, learn some random shit that you didn't expect to hear, or just making a friendship. So I definitely appreciate everybody who's subscribed, who likes my channel, who likes this video, shares me out. Everybody who donates, like, I can't do this without you. I can't say that enough. Is we are funded solely with, yes, I need to spray. We're funded solely by donations and what people offer on my Patreon. That's the only income we have. That's the only way we are sustaining ourselves. So I definitely appreciate it and everything everybody does. And I know times are hard, times are tough. That's part of the reason why we're in this. Uh, I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation. So, like I said, life handed us a bunch of bruised, squished lemons. So I decided to make some lemon shine. That's the best I can do with it. So it's like when my pancake mix got wet. Instead of just throwing it away, I made up all the pancakes that I needed to before it spoiled, and it made it so that we were able to eat more of it than we would have just letting it go spoiled. Um, we did lose half of that bag. I layered in some rice to try to pull the moisture out of it, but that's gone. Uh, there was a spot of mold in it, and it's all in a bag. So if there's a spot of mold, there's mold spores in the whole thing. So I had to get rid of it because the wife is too sensitive to mold. I can eat mold, but that's me. I'm inhuman, apparently. Um, Realized that our big container of oatmeal had moisture in the bottom of it, so we're working our way through that before that spoils, which is just upsetting. But we do have a bunch of stuff in plastic and sealed containers. and I've got my slingshot ready to be made. So if I need to, I can get some varmints. Oh, I love MREs. I don't have any, but MREs would be awesome. Western Barnacles, how's it going? Doing a fundraiser, trying to share what's going on, share our experience, and trying to raise some funds to keep our phones on. Otherwise, uh, my phone's going to be off in 2 days, and I won't be able to upload anymore. And I have no idea when I will be able to again. So, and that's the other thing down east. I don't. I'm worried about having things sent anywhere because if my phone goes off and I can't get a hold of anybody, um, I won't know what comes in. I don't know when it's supposed to come in. I don't know when I'm supposed to go down and meet her aunt or how I'm supposed to get a ride. The oatmeal, yeah, we're salvaging it as much as we can. Uh, Made oatmeal cookies last night and an oatmeal log. They're some sweets and starch, so that way we can have little chunks of fuel. Uh, might end up making some into like salmon cakes. I have some cans of salmon. Me and the boys are gonna share that. They like salmon. I like salmon. The wife doesn't really like fish, so I'm gonna make some salmon cakes, and I'll eat some of that. Use it for treats for the boys. Yes, I know all the edibles around here and everything else, but like I said, to get the amount of energy I need from everything around here, I'm gonna spend most of my day hunting and foraging and grabbing bits and pieces here and there just to sustain all four of us. Because I'm gonna have to hunt a lot of little varmints to feed her. No, I don't have a travel rod. Um, I don't have my fishing license. That was an expense I didn't have the money for. So the only time I'm going to be fishing is in an actual emergency, and that's going to be with a survival fishing kit, which is pretty much taking my black bank line that I have, using a gouge, which is just a spiky stick on either side with it tied in the middle. And that's where I'll put my bait and I'll throw it out there. So that way, when they take the hook, the gouge will go down, and then I'll tug the string and it'll turn it sideways, and I can whip them out of the water. Yeah, our stockpile of dried fruit and nuts that we had actually went bad before we even got out here. Um, we had gotten it a long time ago and we kept it in our oh shit container, and that shit went bad. Um, I guess the fruit that was in it wasn't dried enough. It wasn't even stuff we made. It was some stuff from a store in a food pantry. Um, and we just ate the last of our ramen this morning. Yeah, bro, like everything, every circle, every way we look, we have been cursed from the start. I didn't even get the chance to make it through one day before my feet started bleeding. To give you that kind of perspective. Day one, my feet were bleeding. Day two, we got dumped on with the rain. Or it was day three. Day three, we got dumped on with the rain and just got dumped on for 3 days straight. So there's your first week fucked. And then the solar charger didn't want to charge anything because we were too deep in the woods. Then I wasted a whole day because from what I remembered from when I was looking at the maps, the way I was supposed to go was west down the side of the lake, when really I needed to go northeast. So I ended up hiking 4 miles out, talked to a resident, turned around, hiked 4 miles back, only to find out that I'd gone the wrong way. So then I scouted ahead the next side, and that was fine. So when we finally got up here, shitty signal in the camp spot that I picked when I had a good signal the day before, which makes absolutely no sense. But the second we get up here, signal changes. So that's why this spot is the only spot I have signal, because we're camped farther down, but I don't have signal out there. Not enough anyway. It's only enough to like check comments here and there, and it's only this one spot which I still have to walk away from camp to get to. I do have to say though, the physique changes from doing this. Like my arms are huge now, and I have this new muscle group right there. So I'm getting buff as shit from carrying all this stuff. But it's definitely like you can see it. I've got a whole new muscle group fucking popped in between my fucking arms. So it's definitely good for the physique, but yeah, this has been cursed from the start between the terrible weather conditions, gear not wanting to work properly, losing half of our food. Yeah, we had rations and everything set up where we would be good for like 2 months. We're down to just a couple of weeks worth of food. So, and that's getting inventive and using stuff around. Because also, technically, when it comes to the foraging and stuff like that, you're technically not supposed to do it on state land because it's altering the shrubs and the growth, and you're not even supposed to pick up this rock and move it to a different spot. You're not even supposed to do that on state land. So going around and stripping bark, grabbing fruit trees, pulling up roots, things like that, technically breaking the regulations. So that's why everything I do, I'm very careful on how, what, when, and where I pick everything. I always do it in a sustainable way. I do it so I leave no trace or no obvious damage. And whenever I can, I replant it. Like my geofilter I made the other day, where I've got the bottle full of moss, full of sand, full of charcoal with more moss. Technically breaking the rules doing that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that apart, replace where I got it from, and with the moss, I'm going to break it into little pieces to redo it. And Blister and Barnacles, there's no one there to say anything, but I'm on camera. I'm on camera doing it. People think that just because you're filming somewhere and you don't have anybody to say right then and there that you weren't supposed to do it, I don't want to be like Zachary Fowler and get charged 6 months down the line because he did his 30-day survival challenge, breaking regulations, destroying nature, ruining the environment, eating a path through the Canadian forest, all for a video. He got charged. I'm not going to be, because I'm doing it smart. I'm doing it by following the regulations 100% of the time, every time. And you guys know, my whole thing is I don't lie and I'm honest. Even so much so that somebody that I talked to personally through my messenger said that in a pinch, there are Whole Food stores and stuff like that that I could go and liberate something from the store. That I can go and liberate something from the store if I don't have the money. But I don't do that. Even in a survival situation, I will figure my shit out before I break rules, laws, regulations, or go and shoplift, anything like that, because that's who I am. I am 100% honest. I don't lie to the wife. If she asks me a question that she really doesn't want the answer to, I will double check that she actually wants me to answer it because I'm not going to lie. I'm 100% honest. What you guys see on here is what you see because that's what it is. We're going around and picking up all the trash because people are absolutely trashing the place. We're not going to. All of our garbage gets taken care of. We're carrying everything out. I'm not going to damage the forest or anything else. Well, that's you. In the UK, you guys have rules and regulations where you're able to do shit like that. Here, I can't. Literally, like I said, this rock is loosely sitting on the path. If a DEC officer with a bug up his ass really wanted to fucking ride me because he wanted to, if he walked up and saw me holding this in my hand, I am technically altering the path, altering the trail, changing the forest. It's against the regulations. So that's why I follow them all. How's it going, No Parts Garage? I'm hanging out with everybody for a little bit, running a fundraiser because my phone's going to be off in 2 days. I'm on 33% battery right now. And yeah, see, Silver Serpent, there's game wardens everywhere. So, and no, it's not, but it's the only reason with the way people are. Yes and no. Down east, it doesn't matter if I have a home address. It doesn't matter if I'm living off the land. What I'm doing here has to still fall underneath the New York State land regulations for the state parks. I didn't get my shoes repaired. They are only used for light days because of the heel being torn off. The other heel is falling off, so at least both feet will be even soon. Otherwise, I have my 2 boots. One burns the bottom of my toes. The other scrapes the top. So it's just choosing which pain I want that day. But see, it's what was I saying there? The reason they have these regulations for the state parks and everything is because of people who want to do shit like this. And so they come and they build things and they tear things up and they try to live off the land. They hunt when they're not supposed to. So it's people overusing is the reason people like me can't just survive here and just make it through what I need to do because they're going to hold me accountable for the same shit people are doing. That's why I'm making a whole point about going through and cleaning everything. So that way, if I'm in one of those situations and a warden wants to come up and be like, you, I can be like, listen, bro, I've been making a huge effort to clean this park up. I've done this. I've protected this. I've notified 4-wheelers that they're not supposed to be back here. They threatened me. I've been cleaning up all the garbage from people from the past and people who are coming through here. I'm acting as a steward for the land. Usually, I can get them to back off. A warden, a DEC officer really won't be. I haven't been on that group in forever, and you guys want to. I don't care. Sorry, I get notifications popping up, so. But it's because people overuse and they disrespect nature, like Fowler, that people like me who are going to do it properly aren't allowed to because they need to see that everybody is doing it and nobody does. So I don't know. It's just you've got to fall under the regulations and within the lines. I'm riding that fine line between leaving no trace and living off the land. So I'm living off the land while leaving no trace of it. That's a tight line right there to ride. And that's why I'm trying to share as much as I can on here and share my tips and tricks with you guys. And I'm going to go through all of the different leaving no trace and everything else that I can because I want people to be able to enjoy things like this too, but they can't the way things are. But that's also why I'm trying to do my fundraiser to keep my phone on so I can share everything. With my phone going off in 2 days, this might be one of the last times you guys get to hang out and watch and stuff like that, so I don't know when I'll be back. I've got a bunch of stuff unlisted set on my Patreon to be shared there, so that way my patrons can see it as I upload it, but I'll be able to keep my channel active by putting them public every now and then, so that way I can keep feathering out content even if I can't upload with no signal. I can still go and find a Wi-Fi signal once every other day or every couple of days and put something as public. There you go, new video to watch. I don't want to go 4 months without any content and have my channel crash again. Can't do that. So, but it says we got 5 hanging out. Say hiya. Swisher and Barnacles, No Parts Garage, Down East Tackle, Silver Serpent. Who else is hanging out? Are you guys still hanging out? That kind of thing. We're at an hour and a half. I might have to close it up here soon. Ah, Nightmare, you're hanging out. Thank you again. The wife was I was able to go down and get some mouthwash and some Oragel and some naproxen. So the wife has actually been dealing with her pain a lot better. Now I'm just trying to run the fundraiser to be able to keep our phones on. We need to raise $100 in the next 2 days to do that. I've been trying to do what I can, trying to sell her wedding dress and stuff like that, and my liquor cabinet, but so far it doesn't seem like it's going to be able to be sold, or I'm going to be able to get the money before our phones are off. So, trying to figure out what we're going to do. But I appreciate you hanging out, even if you're at work. Don't get yourself in trouble. Oh, Sean's still here. I'm at 30% now. I was hoping more people would pop in. I was hoping to get some donations tonight. Really, I really have no idea what we're gonna do. Like, I've got a backup plan, but it's not the greatest. Like, in emergency situations, if I need to get a hold of my aunt so she can call DEC, I don't know what we're gonna do. If my phone's out, I can't text her. She can't call DEC. The emergency call is only style on my phone when there's no service. Like, that's only good for an emergency. DEC, the Department of Environmental Conservation. I appreciate that. Appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, it's NCON, or the Wardens. DEC. We used to just call them NCON up here, but I don't know. They rebranded a while ago and they go by DEC. now. 7 o'clock, I got about half an hour ish of daylight left. I'm on 30% battery. 29. I mean, I wish I had more to offer. I do. People who, I don't know, sell all this stuff, give away weed, fucking have all these different giveaways and stuff. They're always getting donations and super chats. People are always putting things up for them. I wish I could. I wish I was able to organize it and be able to do that, but all I have is me, my knowledge, and what I can do for you here. That's why I try to offer as much value in my content as I can. That's why I try to offer my YouTube advice, my daily motivational videos. Well, they're not daily anymore. They were. I'm even putting up. I've got a new style of video I'm trying. I sketch out the scenery that I'm sitting next to, so you can watch as I sketch it out, but you can also see the scenery. So I thought it was super cool. I did it in fast forward. I did it in time lapse and the beginning and end. Oh yeah, fried fish will. Almost out of oil, but that's why I'm making the salmon cakes. Probably gonna make that tonight. I keep thinking about that. Sounds good. But I've been putting up the. I'm gonna add the art video in. Uh, we're gonna keep track of. I'm not sure what that is. That's a lot to do in 2 days. You'd have to get a hold of me through Facebook on my Facebook page or my Facebook group. You can send me a message. We can talk about it. I'm not, like I said, I only have 2 days, so I'm not sure how to do that or how to set it up. I've never done something like that before. I've tried to collaborate with people and okay. Uh, I don't, I don't know what to do with that. After this, 28%. After this, I will look at your short and see if I get what you mean. Um, if you want to text me, um, grab this real fast. Down east, grab that. And when you have it written down and saved, let me know, and I'm going to delete it. I mean, we're at the point where, yeah, if that's what it is, that's what it is, but it'd be a lot easier to have both of them because if I'm scouting ahead, she needs to be able to text me if something happens. What? Well, I guess it's staying there because apparently I can't remove it. That's awesome. Oh well. People have my number now. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I know. I need my phone to be able to make things happen. Is what I've been trying to tell her and talk to her. And when it comes to like who gets battery charged when, I'm like, I kind of fucking need it first so I can do shit. But you know, it's okay. You can charge. Oh well. Alrighty, Downies, go ahead and text me and we'll try to figure things out, because I can text without my data on, so I can text for a while before my phone dies. And I'll try to organize it and figure it out. She has a sword. See, I've got people who fish on my channel. I've got Mike's Fishing Home. I've got quite a few. No bear spray. All we have is a foam pepper spray, which is really only good for people. The foam doesn't spread out far enough to actually get a bear. You actually have to hit them in the face with it, and by the time they're close enough to do that, you're better off just fucking off. And I mean, if people other than who is supposed to text me anyway, that number will just end up getting blocked. So if people steal the number from here and try to harass me like they have been, it'll just get blocked and they'll be reported. I've got an issue. Mrs. Native says hi. Getting dark back there. Well, so down east, just go ahead and shoot me a text, and we'll figure out what you're talking about and how I'm supposed to do it. Like I said, I've never done it before. She was on the walkie, so I'll let her know everybody says hi. Ravens flying over me. I'm still alive! But I appreciate everybody hanging out. Pretty sure I got to cut this soon. 27%. Everything feels cursed, man. Because I've had somebody say that I should auction myself off, that people could bid to get me to work for them. I'm cool with that. I'm an experienced yard and farm hand, and I love doing that. Not sure how I would do that, much less how I would auction off your rigs. It's like, I don't know. We'll just have to talk about it. But it says we got 6 hanging out. Say hiya. Who's all here? Gonna try to run it It'll last a little bit. I have a comment to that. Down east, all I'm going to say is we utilize every option we have. So, too late. Hey, I've said it before, we capture every aspect of our life, and I mean that. We just don't interconnect everything. Because, I mean, sure, I could sit here and I could have 2.5 thousand people on my live stream if I just had the wife stand behind me and just twerk. Because it's what people do. It's like all these guys who have these fucking big outdoor channels, and literally all it is because they just flaunt their wife's titties all over the place. And I know it works because I do it just a little bit. And you can see the change in my channel. You can see the bump up in fucking numbers because I have my wife's cleavage on the thumbnail, or she's sitting next to me during the live with a low cut shirt and she's constantly adjusting herself. That's not even her putting on a show. That's literally just sitting next to her. She's constantly adjusting herself. Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to do it. I want to build on my own integrity, on what I have to offer, on my content, on the information I have. But I mean, it's at the point where we're going to use the assets we fucking got, but I'm not trying to sell out. I mean, what is that one couple? Literally, his wife just wears tank tops that are too baggy, so you always got that like side shot. I appreciate it, down east. That's the only reason why I haven't done it. Like, I've joked around with it more than anything, and just to prove the fact, be like, watch, I can get this thumbnail to get to get clicked on 3 times more than I can of the same thumbnail that has the same information, just because her titties are in it. And it works each and every time. It makes my fucking shit drop off, my retention drop off like a motherfucker, but it's only because her titties aren't the main subject. So it's like they click into that and realize, oh damn, I got baited. Yes, you did. Because everybody does it. So I baited your ass to show you some good content. And like, I'm really surprised my survival challenges don't go farther. Like, I'm doing intense actual survival challenges, and people doing these bullshit 24-hour challenges or solo overnight challenges. You know, I can tell by the sun angle that was 2 different days, but people don't want to admit that. Or these, like Jay Stu, they are a great group of guys. They are funny as shit. But most of their challenges aren't anything. They're not actually challenging themselves to do anything. They're just playing around in forts. Like, I could do that. But people aren't going to watch that because I'm actually out in the woods. I'm not going to come out here and take a roll of cellophane and make a bubble house because I think it's going to be useful. It's not useful. I'm not going to tell people to do that because you will A, bake to death, suffocate, or freeze. That's your options inside one of those plastic little bubbles when people make the cellophane huts. Or you're going to melt it because your fire is within 10 feet. So it's like, I like to keep things with integrity. I like to show people how you can actually survive, information you can actually use when you're out here. Like, I tell direction and time I appreciate that, Maddie. And Matt. I call you Maddie. I hope that's fine. But it's Mattia Human? Matt Matitia Human? I'm not sure. I call you Maddie. I hope that's all right. I love your comments and I appreciate you 200%, bro. It's that's why I shared one of your comments on my community page tab. Matt too? Maddie. Okay, Maddie. Alrighty. Cool, Maddie. That's what I've been calling you anyway. So glad we're on the same page. But yeah, Maddie, I appreciate you. Uh, I try to keep it real. I try to keep it uncut. That's why I explained my fake editing techniques where I've just been hitting pause and then restart and like pause, record in between my sentences when I take a moment to think, because it gives people the edit cut that they want to see to keep their attention span. But it also gives you guys the authenticity of the fact that I'm not cutting anything. I'm just hitting pause and then moving to just a different angle and hitting the record again and still staying in my sentence that I was holding. So that's why I explained the fake edits that I've been doing, so that way people know I'm still being me, I'm still my integrity, I'm still keeping it real and raw, but I'm making it appear like some other people's editing styles, so that way it maintains attention. What's going on, Corey? I'm just trying to raise some money to keep our phone on. Yes, we're allowed to have campfires. There's a camp circle down there that I've been fixing and digging and getting all the garbage out of while we've been doing it. But yeah, Corey, my phone goes off in like 2 days, so I've been trying to put up the fundraiser and raise some funds to see if people are willing to donate to help me, at least me, keep my phone on, so that way I can keep uploading and I can keep sharing and I can stay in contact with my emergency contact, so that way they know if we're okay or if services need to be sent out to pick us up, which I would never do anyway unless absolutely necessary. 24% left on my battery. So, but yeah, we're allowed campfires. At least until the drought hits, which there's always like a week or two of drought that hits. Sometimes I feel like I have a delay on the chat. Sometimes I don't. What's the oops for, Nightmare? What'd you do? Oh, Nightmare, what'd you do? Okay, Nightmare, what did you do though? Who did you time out? Did you block somebody? Because I need to know so I can remember to go in and undo it. Did you put someone in timeout? Did you report them? Oh, you hit a comment? Well, you can hit show to show the comment back up. Nothing hides on my end, so I don't even know. It's fine though. Oh, But I'm really kind of running out of time here. Running out of battery, unfortunately. And I still need a little bit to be able to upload. I got one more I need to upload and keep unlisted, and then I'm going to mark one public. So, like I said, I'm trying to stock up on unlisted videos that I can hold on to and release periodically, just in case service does run out and I'm not able to upload regularly anymore. Okay. It's all good, Nightmare. If you hit a comment and it's whatever, I see it, and that's who they're talking to most of the time anyway. So it's no big deal. Alrighty, Corey. I think I shot you a message. I'll shoot you another one. But I appreciate everybody hanging out and being here. I appreciate everybody and their support. Everybody who gave me a thumbs up. I don't even know how many this video has. I don't even know how many views or nothing. It's been so hard for me to watch my analytics because I don't have the signal to. So I've barely been able to see much except for my comments. I go in, I respond to comments, and that's about all the power I got. Trying not to blind myself though right now, but still give you guys something. But once again, I appreciate everybody who's watching this on the replay. I haven't done a code word. Your code word for this replay for my replay champions is missed. 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 Put it down in the comment section down below if you're watching this on the replay to let me know that I missed the replay champion code word in the last one. Got to remember to stay on that. It's one of the things that is the style of my videos and my lives. So it's all good, Nightmare. It's all good. So for my replay champions, there you go. Sorry I missed it last time. So once again, real quick, anybody who wants to join my Patreon page, you'll get access to the unlisted videos before they go live and all the other benefits that go with it, the merchandise and thank yous, direct contact, and everything else. Down East Tackle, please shoot me a text. Let me know what's going on. We can talk about what you were talking about there. Everybody who donates will help us keep our phones on. I definitely appreciate everybody who has already donated. You are on the list. We have been updating that list regularly now, so everybody who donates is getting put on the list, and we are keeping track of the amounts because I plan on paying it back and forwards as soon as we are able to. Anybody who shares this out, sent me a like. Definitely appreciate it. Everybody watching, appreciate your time. I hope I offered some value or at least some entertainment when I was climbing up a tree upside down because somebody suggested it. You take it easy too, Silver Serpent. I appreciate all you. Yeah. Hopefully we can raise enough funds and I can get to keep my phone on, and we will be able to stay in contact and be able to keep you guys updated as we're cleaning up the trail, heading down, hiking from New York to Georgia for the world's largest pizza party and go see Eric in person and get a slice of that world's largest pizza. And then I get to start my ultra through hike, the Appalachian Trail into the North Country Trail. 7,000 miles in 200 days. It's going to be exciting. So, lots coming. Hopefully you guys will get to be there and see it. Thanks, Sean, Silver Serpent, Nightmare, Down East, Corey, Blood Files, who popped in right at the first minute. Thank you, everybody, and everybody in between. Anybody I might have missed. Remember to get out there, be a native, and go beast.